morning, good evening, and good afternoon to all the geeks out there now, little geekdom, and welcome to another. Oh God, I knew I'd forget it again. Second episode of the year, and I forgot the freaking name again. Our Little Geekdom. See, I wanted to say that, and then I kept going back to Our Little Geekdom, but that's not the right name. That's not the right name. Yes, this is actually Our Little Geekdom. As silly as I am for forgetting that. Yes. Anyway, we're going to welcome a guest here. We call him Edinburgh Fudge. I think he calls himself Edinburgh Fudge on all streams and wherever he platforms. Welcome.
Confetti, cannons.
Yep. Thanks. It's like just dead air, and then all he hears, thanks. It's one of those awkward thank yous.
Well, that's why I thought I'd improvise and go, wee!
I'm from Scotland. I'm not good at taking compliments. I think we've talked about this before. But yeah.
I think Tam talked about that. He says that being from Scotland, you're not very good at taking compliments. So if someone says, "Damn, that was good," you're like, "Thank you."
Thanks. Yeah. I very new into my streaming career. I had somebody come in and say, "Oh, I love your voice," and I was just like, I just like Control Alt deleted myself. I had no idea what to say. Like it was just.
Sounds like
no.
That's what happens.
At least you haven't been told by people that they want to smell you far.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is.
There
I'll
are
say
some
that's
really
unique.
weird
That's
people out there.
the best way to put it.
Yeah, that is very unique. The guy was like, "Oh, I'd love to smell your fart." So I'm like, looking on the stream. I'm like, "Dude, really?"
Yep, you got nothing on that one. Nope.
That's a type of moment where you go, brain goes.
Yep. 404
Yeah,
brain
no,
not
just-
found here.
Yeah, just like you hear a whistling of air.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, just so you guys know, there's a reason why there's a big ass thing in front of my face is because Kez has moved her pop filter away from her microphone, so I had to give her mine until I find the other one. So I am using the big pop filter and she's using the little one. For those of you who are watching and weren't confused as to why now suddenly half of my face is gone, that's why. Yes. So we are facing each other. She's talking to me and it looks like I'm looking away from her. But anyway, it's not about us. Fudge, tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into all of this.
Yeah. I mean, I've been a content creator for just probably 18 months, there or thereabouts, 20 months, something like that. In fact, well, it'll almost be 2 years actually. It's a bit longer. April 2020. So kind of similar story to Teeny and Tam, to be honest. We all started around the same time.
Nice.
I think we're probably about a month away from each other. I'd previously, mine was kind of slightly more planned. It was a planned route there. I'd done YouTube for quite a while, and I'd always wanted to stream, but I'd never really got around to it. And obviously, the break in 2020 gave me the chance to be like, hey, I'm working from home, but I've got lots more free time than I normally do. Let's use that to actually build something. So. So the original plan was that I was going to do a year of uploads to YouTube, just like once a week. And basically I did a full year of like once a week uploads to YouTube just to make sure that I could do content on a regular basis. And then I pretty much finished that around November, December of 2019. And then like got everything prepared for starting streaming. So yeah, unfortunately I started off with a potato PC. I think we technical issues out the wazoo. It was awful. But it was content and it was funny and people got to laugh at me getting frustrated with my PC and it was certainly interesting, that's for sure.
But that's exactly how it works though. We didn't really have a plan when we started our YouTube channel. So for us it was just, one day I'm sitting there, I feel like starting a YouTube channel, and we started a YouTube channel. You sound like you had all the bars and the graphs ready, and you're like, okay,
no.
Projection.
I make it sound like that, but it was not. No, it was like I'm due my videos went out originally on a Friday afternoon. That was what I did. I did Friday afternoon at like 3:00, so that people who were just finishing early and all the rest of it, theoretically it would be already on their page if they went to it. And I had all this like planned in my head as to how I was going to do it, and then and then actually doing it, it was like, Thursday night. Oh, I've not got a video for tomorrow. I'm gonna have to record something. Setting up till 2-3 in the morning, and then be like, oh, I've got to get up tomorrow and edit this. It was awful. it was bad. Streaming for me is much easier. It's you turn up and you do the thing, and then you can choose to do stuff about it later, but you're still doing the thing originally. So it's
Now, we also thought that streaming would probably be a good thing for us, but we figured that we're just not entertaining. Not as streamers.
That's not factually correct. I can assure you are entertaining. You should definitely do it. And I'm going to encourage you to do it, and I'm going to be your first subscriber. There you go.
Not
we
on stream,
tried
trust
it,
me.
and we have a Twitch channel, but like when we play games, we get so super focused that we go quiet.
It's boring.
And
it's like watching sticks.
we get so focused on the game that we forget about that there's a chat that you need to read. So then after a while, you're like, oh, there's something I need to read. Let me look there. And then it's like half an hour or a few minutes later, and then that person's already probably gone because they're like, oh, well, you're not answering my question. You're not talking to me, so I'm not going to stay. We're a lot more entertaining on videos. Because you can have the funny bits and you can have the entertaining bits, whereas on a stream you have to be entertaining the whole time. And we've noticed, we've tried, like literally we have to remind ourselves to keep talking, and it just didn't become fun. And I think a lot of people that have known us for a while, so a lot of our fellow South African content creators, when we announced that we're making the move to just sticking to YouTube, they say, you know what, good on you, it's what you're good at, it's what we know you guys as. Stick to your strength.
I think it's interesting, isn't it, because I've always talked about spare capacity as like a benefit. So like if you are able to play a game and have the spare capacity to do the other part, like the the extra sections, the talking to chat, all the rest of it, that's fine. But like I have to be good enough at the game in the first place to be able to do that. And so like that's why I started off with like games that were familiar to me. And that made it a lot easier for me. But certainly it's been a challenge more recently when I've like moved to games that I have no idea about. And like Detroit, I'm playing Detroit on a Wednesday night just now, and it is just like there's so many like key prompts. It's like you have to hit the button at the right time, and I just can't I cannot do that and look at a chat. And so a lot of my chat are just like it's fine, concentrate because I know you need to concentrate in this section. I'm like okay, that's fine. But yeah, it's I don't have the capacity for that.
Yeah, that was our problem as well. What we were thinking of doing is, I actually had a chat with Kiz about this I think at the beginning of the year. If the podcast becomes more and more popular and more people watch us, we might just go onto a live video on YouTube, so that people can actually talk while they can ask us questions, or they can chat while we're busy chatting. So we can they can ask questions to the guests, and we'll obviously ask the questions to them as well.
To do that. So previously we had a podcast, the Geek Inspired podcast. Yeah. So it was the two of us and then one of our friends, Geekoscopy, and it was similar to what we're doing now, but there were slight differences. So it was more like a Q&A kind of thing, and that was live, where people could come in and ask their questions. We had our own set of questions for the people that were joining us. Yeah. But that was actually quite good, because it gave that like extra bit of interaction. Yeah,
but we're just waiting to see how our growth goes. So far, it looks good. Our episodes are looking better and better, and more people are watching, which is good. So it might happen. We're not going on the yes or no just yet. We'll obviously let everyone know when the time comes.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a great idea, to be honest. I think the only thing that would worry me is that if I ended up coming back and my chat knew about it, they'd just be in the entire time just ribbing me and telling you all of my bad stories that I don't want to tell you. So,
that's fine, because then we just just for that, it's going to be you and all the other Scotsmen that play Raft. All of you guys are going to be on it.
I tell you something, you get us together, and excuse my French, I know this is okay, but it's just going to be a shit show. I'm sorry.
That's exactly what we want. we want to be able to the cat's chewing your ferry.
Yes, just want to keep the first introduction of the cat. Woohoo.
Oh yes, that's Crumbs. He's actually a little shit. That fairy was very expensive. He's now eating it.
Yep.
And it was a birthday present, Christmas present for Kez.
Oh wow.
She
stunning.
loves her Alice in Wonderland, and that looks very much like the American McGee's Alice, and we both love that game. It's like one of the best games ever. So I got that for her as a Christmas gift. Her birthday gifts were different. It was nice traveling around the country.
Anyway,
enough of that. So
what do you think about Detroit? Because we've both played it. I don't think this actually.
I finished it.
Did you finish
I was
it?
the first one to finish
Oh
it.
yes, yeah. But obviously, because every story is different, the way it ends and stuff. So how do you feel about it?
I said to my chat when I first said I was going to play it. I said I'm going to play this completely clean. I have no idea what happens, and I'm just going to play whatever happens, and I just want to get kind of like a natural playthrough of it. So I'm absolutely loving it and hating it at exactly the same time. You know, like I love how good a story it is, how visually stunning it is, and yet I can't deal with the emotion of like some of the stories are ripping me apart already, and I'm like, I just wanted to do something different so they were still alive, or you know, like I haven't killed anyone yet, but like it's just it's super frustrating because like one tiny decision. Perfect example is on Wednesday night I shot somebody and I should never have done it. I never do that, but I assume it's totally killed the storyline that would have gone in a different direction. But like I had literally the choice between shoot or spare, and the entire run so far I've been like trying to spare everybody, trying to just be me, and for whatever reason I decided in that moment to choose shoot, and my chat just gave me so much hell for it, and quite understandably so. But like, you know, it's like you've got this amount of time to decide on it, and I was like, okay, this, and yeah, it was bad. But I love it. I think it is probably up there with like some of my favorite games. But it's just it's just emotionally, and I have no doubt that it'll get worse as well. I'm still only probably.
Oh yes.
I'm guessing. I don't really know, but I'm guessing I'm probably halfway through, something like that. I'm not really sure. But
I don't know how far you are. I think Kez may have seen how far you're on the game. I don't know just yet.
Wednesday I just finished. The section I was talking about there was the section where there was the two oh god, what am I doing this? The two sex androids that loved each other.
You're I think it's about halfway.
You're about halfway.
It's the one with Amelia Rose where the one has I think blue hair and the other one has normal hair.
And my chat was telling me that the blue-haired person is actually based on the person who plays Connor's wife, I think.
Yep.
Which is wild. That's
the
peculiar.
two of them are married. Yeah. It's Brian Deckard and Amelia Rose.
Well, unfortunately not anymore because I shot her. But yeah, a bit awkward. But yeah. Anyway, so I guess we're not getting that storyline. But yeah, no, I think it's something. I'm not sure. I'm a bit undecided as to whether I'll go back and continue like a different playthrough on stream. I think I'll probably play it by myself, like off stream, just to kind of get all the other optional endings and stuff. But yeah, I mean, like I've got I've been getting fairly high percentages of like covering everything. Like there's only probably 2 or 3 things I've missed generally, and like there's maybe very few levels. So yeah, it's going quite well. Although that's kind of me because the way I play games, I'm like, oh, let's go and look over here. There's nothing interesting over here, but let's go and look over here. And yeah, it's why Fallout 4 was an absolute nightmare for me. And I'm surprised that I'm surprised that Teeny possibly didn't drop me in on this one. But I played Fallout 4, and the only story mission I did was Preston and the power armor right at the start. And I haven't even got to Diamond City. I have just gone around and hoarded everything, and I made like a massive settlement at what do you call it? And at the first base, and that's all I did. Yeah. And I spent like a couple of 100 hours in that game on Xbox, and did nothing. And like it was really funny because Teenage started streaming it, and I was like, oh, I really want to watch this. This is great. And within like halfway through the first stream, I was like, oh, you're further than I ever got. Okay. So yeah.
Yeah, that's me to a T. I don't. Kez likes to rush through stories and stuff like that, but me, I don't do the story thing. Well, I do, but I don't do just the story. I like to explore. I like to see what else is. I mean, like right now, I'm busy playing Kingdom Come Deliverance, dude. I swear, it took me forever to get through Trial of Fire or Trial by Fire, which is the first freaking main mission where you actually have to build up. Because I'm sitting there and I'm always dying. So I'm like, okay, well, let me build my character up. So I build my character up and make him stronger. He's now a good fighter. And then I start going on side missions. And literally, I'll like, woo, what's there? And I'll like, go that way. And eventually get to the end.
It depends on whether the game captures me. So if it's an interesting game with that I can see myself playing, then I'll do the side missions and things like that. But if it's something that's really boring, I'm just gonna go through the story and just get to the end.
Yeah, and I think I kind of did the same originally with Zelda Breath of the Wild, and so then I got loads of pelters for that. No, you have to play the So I ended up playing that on stream, and I just started all over again, and it was horrible. I deleted a save that had like thousands of items just purely so I could like start all over again. But it was fine. And in actual fact, I really, really enjoyed the whole story on that. And one of the benefits for me was I had people in who had already played the game, and they were like, "Oh, you should go here today." And I was like, "Why?" And they're like, "We're not going to tell you. You should go here." And I'm like, and so it led me into really, really. Well, I don't know whether it was entertaining content, but I enjoyed it. So, and I loved the game and I completed it. So, from start to finish, I completed it on stream. So, yeah, and that's that's another thing I like to do as well is complete games. But it's kind of both of those things don't really work well together. The hoarding and the not doing the storyline doesn't really normally lead you down a path of completion of the game. So it's like two sides of my brain fighting or something. I don't know.
That sounds about right.
Yep.
That's normally how the brain works, though. Or well, how my brain works when I play games, dude. I've got hundreds of games, and I think I've finished like 4. Out of all the games I've got, I think I've finished.
What's my 4. Steam library at? 1,000 and something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe played 10, 15 games out of it. I don't know. Yeah.
But also, to be fair, we only recently started building up our Steam library.
Yeah, because we only recently started 113. We only recently started earning enough money to be able to buy games.
Yeah, I know that feeling as well. Yeah.
We only had one PC between the two of us, and the laptops that we previously had were very, very potato-y, so you couldn't play anything. And it's like, well, why get it if you can't play it, kind of thing. Yeah. So now that we've got the proper monster PCs, now we're starting to build and
yeah, I did the thing where I had I've been on Steam for 12 years, so I've got like my wee 12-year award, and like I would say that probably 9 of those years absolutely nothing happened in that whatsoever, and it's just been like in the last 2 or 3 years that I've just started going, oh, buy that, and Steam sales, Steam sales. I probably shouldn't be talked about in my house because I don't want the wife to know how much I spend on Steam sales. But anyway,
it's a good thing about Kids and myself. We purchase games together. I mean, I found games like the Splinter Cell collection. I found for like nothing on Steam. Soul Reaver, dude. Remember Soul Reaver from the PS2? Dude, and the PS1. I got the entire collection for like, I think it was £3.
yeah. I just wishlist everything. I just wishlist everything I want, and then you get an email to tell you that it's at £2, and I'm like, oh well, I guess I'm buying another game. It's brilliant. I love it. I love the theory behind it. Yeah. It's very clever. I do own a lot of games I'll probably not play though, but that's part of it. It's fun.
I've got so many games though. I've got like Left 4 Dead 2, which I probably will never play again.
Fantastic games.
It's good to play with friends. Yeah, it's not a very good single player game. I'm not too keen on that. I've got like Sniper Ghost Warrior, dude. I've never heard of it before until there was a special on I think Humble Bundle or something. And we got
I have a game, and I can see it at the corner of my eye. I have a game called Coffin Dodgers, and it's a game where you play as a granny or a granddad racing their mobility scooters. And you can, and I have never played it before, but I looked at it and it was like £2 in the shop, and I was like, I am buying that. And like one day I'll play it. One day I'll play it just to see what it's like. But my word, why? Like, why?
These are grandpas racing their scooters. Chair fucking simulator.
It's kind of like Goat Simulator and stuff, isn't it? Like, you know, I played that on stream as well.
No, it's kind of like that, but it's you fuck chairs.
Okay. That's that.
You like this weird grey ugly blob thing.
Dude, you're a like, you know, the kitchen waste bins that we have, those round cylindrical kitchen waste bins that we normally use. It's like a grey one like that, and it porks chairs. That's all it does. All the time.
There's even like a Tinder app kind of thing for chairs. The chair says, "Ooh, I like this and this and this," and then you can either swipe left or right.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I needed to be in that badly in the weird games that you own on Steam category, but I'll take it. That's wow. That's a different one. Like,
dude, you got to watch a video on it. One of my friends actually introduced us to it, and you know, it's like once you watch it, you will never unwatch it.
Yeah, it sounds like one of those games that goes immediately onto the Twitch banned list without even looking at it. Like, but
Funny enough, no, it's actually on YouTube.
Oh really?
They've got a whole bunch
of
videos,
but that's
it's
YouTube.
because
it's not Twitch.
Yeah.
If you stream that on Twitch, I'm pretty sure you'll get into stuff for it.
I'll go and have a look. I'll let you know.
Yeah, it's not really sexual. It's the whole thing. It's just it's a grey bin porking a chair, and there's no real. It's literally just it's like.
I have to say, when you invited me on a podcast, I never thought this is where it was going to go. So,
conversations go south fast. Forgot to actually warn you about that in the beginning. We normally warn everyone.
Let's bring it back on topic. I saw you play Forza.
Yes.
As well.
Yes.
That's something that Ziff plays quite often, so he can talk to you about it.
I removed it from my PC for now because I've got so many games to play. I've got so many games. I had to actually. It's so big, and my hard drive is so small.
It's like 100 and something gig. It's insane. But no. I actually my whole stream started around Forza basically. So I played Forza Horizon 4. That was the first ever game I played. So I started off just streaming Sundays only. So Sunday afternoons, just streaming Forza Horizon 4 and doing seasonal stuff and having fun with that. And that was my whole stream for. It was quite a short period initially, because then I was like, okay, I also want to play other games. So then, you know, I added in like a Friday, and then I've added in a Wednesday as well. So it gradually took time. But yeah, Forza, the whole Forza Horizon series, Forza series in general is very good, but the Forza Horizon series specifically has been something I've loved. I remember picking up, I think it was 2. Yeah, it would probably be Forza Horizon 2, I think. And I just played for hours and hours and hours, not doing anything again, just really enjoying it. And and again, it's one of those things that, you know, when I came back to when I started streaming, I knew exactly what I was going to stream, and it was always going to be Forza Horizon. So yeah, that's where we started. We're now still doing it with Forza Horizon 5. But yeah, racing games are really like a staple of my kind of whole thing. I think I saw you talking to, was it 901, I think, recently about Forza series as well. We were talking to him. It was just before Forza 5 came out, I think. Right. I think so. Yeah. And we were just chatting about dude, I had been looking for ages for a game that would be similar to Need for Speed Underground 2, and I haven't found anything close to it until I found Horizon 4. That was the closest game I could find. When I played it, it's not exactly the same. It's like there's a lot of differences in Horizon, the Horizon games, than there is in obviously your Need for Speeds, but still a damn fun game. And I got into it, and I haven't stopped enjoying that game. It's really a good game to play. But now, like I said, I had to remove it because I've got so many other games that I have to put on my PC now. As soon as I get another hard drive, it's going back on. That's the first game that gets installed into the new hard drive. But we've been playing. I mean, I've been playing Horizon since we got Game Pass. I started playing with Horizon, and one of my friends in South Africa actually introduced me to the game and showed me what the game was. And then when we got here, we got Game Pass, and I was like, that's my game. That's one of the first games I'm going to install. Yeah. And on a side note though, how wonderful is Game Pass? It's completely changed the way I play games. It's so good.
It's really awesome. It's so great because look, there's some games that I won't install on the install because they're limited to there's a limited time that they'll be on, so I don't install those ones. I normally just wait until I can get those on like Steam or something like that, and then I'll just keep them there. But the games that are owned by Microsoft, like I've got one of the reasons why I uninstalled Forza was because I had to put Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim on because I'm going to be doing a video on. I'm going to be playing those games on video. So I've had to put those games on, but I mean I can play all the Bethesda games.
Yeah,
it's quite awesome, you know?
It's amazing. Yeah,
weird games like the one that I'm playing at the moment, where it's called Nobody Saves the World, and you're like this little nobody character, and you can change between different forms. So you need to go and save the magician, and that's as far as I've gotten at the moment. But like you can change it to a rat and a guard and a ranger and a horse and a slug and like all these weird things.
And that's probably not something you would have played without Game Pass. It's not something you'd ever see. It's not something you'd ever get a little advert for and have it effectively what it feels like for free. When I first so I bought it alongside my Series X. So basically when I got this new Series X, I got it at the same time with like a package deal from Microsoft, and it was brilliant. It was really worthwhile. And I found that I played a lot of games recently that I would never have played on it, and I'm kind of, I said earlier on, I'm kind of a completionist, and that's mainly for Xbox achievements. So like I do a little bit of like, oh well, I've got the game now and I'm all the way through it, I might as well try and get all the achievements. And whenever I've done that, a lot of obviously having all these new games on Game Pass, it's like, do I want to install them and then never finish the achievements? But I end up doing it and I just do them all. So it's really, really good fun. In fact, a friend of mine, Rallic One Up, he's another streamer as well, but he's an IRL friend of mine since high school, and he's massively into achievement hunting, and the two of us have like recently, like we're both on a site for tracking them now, and it's really, really interesting. It's like that's like my high level geekery, like my like let's not talk about this too much geekery. So it's brilliant.
That's me on PlayStation. I'm a trophy person.
Trophy guy.
We've got the PS4, so I've got a shit ton of games on PS4, and now we've started with the PS5. Now we're starting to build a collection of games for the PS5 as well. And of course, you've got me, Mr. Trophy Man. We just got Jedi: The Fallen Order, so I'm busy hunting for all the trophies there. And I'm like, oh, there's a trophy there. I'm gonna go and try and get it. Die about 100 times, and I'm like, I got my trophy.
So like,
so I know how you feel.
One of the games I played recently was Back 4 Blood, and I started playing it with just a few other people on stream and stuff like that. And then I had a look at the achievements, and like one of them is like complete the game on nightmare mode. And like nightmare mode or whatever the equivalent of it is, and I was just like, okay, well maybe I'm not getting 100% on this one. Like, it's just, it's just so weird. But like, don't get me wrong. At some point, I will get a crew together and we will try it offline. By the way, because too much swearing. But yeah, like it'll be wild. I have no doubt it'll go badly wrong, but we'll do it at some point.
Yeah, no, Back 4 Blood. Oh, we played that. Oh my God, dude! On normal, we couldn't even get past some of those parts.
It's brutal.
It's like that ship part. We did not kill anything. We just ran.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, kill what you have to, and then go.
And then defend with the minigun at the end. That's literally it.
Yeah. We had one person on the minigun the whole time as we were coming back, because we went out, dropped the bombs, and ran back. We were trying to get the achievement for all of us getting through. And the three of us are running back, and you hear Zulu on the machine gun going, "I'm gonna shoot them! Come on, I'm coming in! Go!"
That was me.
And that was me. The intro, as far as I remember.
Yeah, and that was just the intro to the game. It was like, oh my God. That was painful. there's an achievement for the bar scene where you are using the jukebox and then all the zombies come like massive hordes. There's an achievement in that game for managing to keep the jukebox constantly running without ever getting turned off by the zombies attacking it, right?
But like,
you know how difficult that
me
is.
and a couple of friends have tried it, just like just nice and easy. Like, oh, we'll just see if it's possible to get this very easily. It is not. It is super difficult. Like, you will need to literally have 4 people round it as a protection ring of like, it is yeah. Like, and again, that's the kind of thing I find hilarious is that I feel like achievements in some way make you play the game differently in order just to get those. And yeah, I have no doubt that like whenever we do this, we'll do a streak at some point trying to get them, and it's just gonna be a nightmare. But it'll be fun. I think maybe all to just hear that noise at the end.
You should actually play on stream though.
Yeah,
that would be something
funny,
that you would have to play on stream though, because you'd get so many laughs out of it. You really would.
Yeah.
Honestly, I probably would be crying in my chair from laughter watching you guys go through that.
Yeah, I'll maybe pick together a squad at some point and see if we can protect the jukebox all night or something. Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Because I'm not putting myself through that shit again.
No.
There's no way. It's like, I'll have a coronary if I carry on. I'm not gonna
like
do it.
playing Pico Park.
Oh. It's like, well, I wouldn't know.
I am so desperate to play Pico Park with people. I haven't done it yet. I am, and the reason I am is because I'm the guy who ruins it all the time. And I think Teeny and Tam probably, certainly Teeny definitely attributed this a little bit, but or certainly mentioned it. But like, I'm the guy who, like, there's 4 of you through the finish line, and I'm like, oh no, I'm going to die. What a shame. And they're like, no, like that. I'm that guy. So, and it's just badness. It's it's like my Loki side comes out a little bit, and I'm like, bye. But yeah, a lot of fun.
You're basically me.
Yeah,
I would have done that to piss them off just because
that game was horrific. It's
not a friendship ender.
It's a friendship ender, but obviously not really. But my word, it's kind
of similar to Among Us. I know that you guys are possibly not the biggest fans of Among Us, but yeah, we I had an Among Us lobby for probably a year, basically, on a Friday night. And that was how my Fridays, it wasn't how my Fridays started, but it's how my Fridays went on. And we had like a community night on a Friday night with all like the full lobbies. At the time, it was like full 10 lobbies. It's now full 15 lobbies. And it was just, like you said, friendship ender. Like, if somebody didn't go away upset every week, then something had gone wrong. Like it was the drama fill thing that I was having to message people, being like, hey, I know you got completely picked on tonight, but like, it seemed like it was your turn. I'm really sorry. This is how it works, and it was really funny because at the end of it, people were like, oh, now I understand. Okay, so everybody's had that night. And I'm like, yeah, everybody's had that night where it just feels like you're the one getting picked on. Unfortunately, for the first like 10, 12 weeks, that was just me. It was just like, hey, streamer man, let's kill him. Or, hey, streamer man, let's blame him and throw him out. Like, I didn't play the game for a long time at the start. I just constantly got voted out and killed. So, but yeah, like we got to a stage where we had our own rules. And like, one of the rules, just to totally wind people up, was that if they joined and they'd never played with us before, we would just say the rules and everyone would go, ah yes, and we'd vote them straight out on the very first round, whether it was them or not. And then they would be like, what's going on? And we'd be like, welcome to the game, congratulations, it was like a rite of passage, it was so yeah, it's pretty chaotic, but it was fun.
Yeah, our rules for games like that is when all else fails, it's Toast's fault.
Yeah, I heard that.
That's us. Yeah, it's either Toast or it's Speed, but when all else fails, those two are the ones to blame.
Yeah.
Regardless of who the person is that's guilty.
I'm the one to blame all the time. That's the problem. Yeah. In fairness, half the time they're probably right, but like, I don't really want to tell everybody
you seem like the mischievous one, though. You seem like the one to actually cause shit when you want to.
Yeah, like
I was going to say, cause
one of the things that Teeny didn't mention about it when she was talking about it was that my favorite ever night was, she mentioned dressing up as me and killing other people. My favorite thing was dressing up as people that same night, or like, changing into them, shape-shifting into them, and then killing them as themselves. That was what I was doing. So I would, I shape-shifted into Teeny and then killed Teeny as Teeny, and then I shape-shifted into Queso, my moderator, and killed queso, and yeah, it was like the best. It was the best new part of that game ever because it just made my Loki side just be like, yeah.
That's pretty much myself as well. I like to be mischievous, but only at times. I think Toast is more of a mischievous person in comparison with myself. You know, I'm like moderate. You know, he's like the really mischievous
high level one.
So yeah, I was watching their Pico Park video, and he was causing a lot of crap. He was causing a lot of cuck.
Man.
Yeah. Oh, cuck means shit, by the way.
Yeah, no, I got it. I've been listening.
Don't worry. From Tam. If you didn't get from Tam's one,
yeah.
Shit.
Well, yeah, probably the less said about Tam's one, the better. But anyway, that's just to wind Tam up. Nothing, no other reason. But yeah.
Well, you know what?
He's the child of our group, and it's great. It's just like, you know, it's like that annoying wee brother, you know, and then you just like poke him every now and again just to.
I was the annoying wee brother.
Yeah. Yes,
was
he's
the
the
youngest in
brother.
my family.
Yeah.
I am the youngest. I am the youngest in my family. My brother. I used to always annoy my brother and my sister. Yeah, excuse the crumbs. Cat just decides he wants to go for a walk on the table.
Just wants to be part of the pod. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's fine. We don't mind.
Absolutely.
He's got a limit to where he can go. Yeah, he's got a limit to where he can go though. He can't walk onto my desk because I stop him because I don't like my keyboard and stuff being walked on. So because Kes doesn't mind her computer being like, you know, Alt F4. Me, I'm not too keen on it.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that would happen to me. We talked before about technical difficulties. That's the kind of thing. Like I just know, you know, like I don't know if you remember. Is it Die Hard 4? I think it is. When in like the guy's got a model. And it like rolls off and like hits the only button on the keyboard that explodes his whole house. Like that's the kind of shit that happens to me. You know, like I'll be sitting and I'll be like, oh, everything's prepared and ready. Let's go live. And then like that thing rolls off, hits the keyboard, and my computer explodes. That's my level of luck. So.
Yeah, you saw my luck just now when I F5 my screen. It was my freaking earphones. It fell down on my F5 button. I mean, how?
Yeah.
It's like things like that happen to me often. I had our other cat Shade. She loves to sit on my lap while I'm playing games, or she loves to lie on me and then, you know, really like, she's a very hot cat. So I'll be sitting there and I'll be playing and I'll start getting very hot because she is just a very hot cat. So I like start shifting her around, and then she's like, okay, well I'll just lie down on your desk. She lies down, and I don't know what button she pushed, but she managed to disable almost everything in my GTA game. Like almost, I couldn't move, I couldn't do anything. And I'm like sitting there, the game's going fine. I can move forward and backwards and nothing else. And I was like, what the hell did this cat just do? I had to uninstall and reinstall the game to be able to get it to work again.
Wow.
She did that much to my PC.
I'm okay with virtual pets a lot more than I am with real pets. I'd probably have one. It's just because I'm allergic to everything. But like, yeah, I'd probably have something.
Oh, terrible. No.
Yeah, like I'll doze up on stuff. It's fine, you know. Antihistamines, it'll be fine.
Yeah, you're gonna have to take a shitload because we got 9 cats.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot of cats.
No, you're gonna have to take 9, 1 for each cat.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's above the daily recommended dose. I'll have to check that, but yeah.
Probably is.
A little bit.
Yeah, something like that.
I'll keep that in mind.
Well, we are looking to purchase a house at some point. So right now we're staying in a very, very, very small flat. Well, very small. It's a 2-bedroom. It's not very small, but it's. We're South African. We're not used to small flats like this.
Yeah, I also live in a 2-bedroom flat, and like I need like 5, maybe 6 for my content creation only. You know, not really, but yeah, it's we're also looking for houses as well because it's just. Yeah, like I have like a small corner of the 2nd bedroom, and that's my space. And I'm okay with it. Like it works, but yeah, it's
you just Yeah, that's what Kez and I said. We need a 4-bedroom at least, minimum 4-bedroom, so that we can start doing what we need to do. Because we've got to soundproof a room so that we can actually use that for content creation. But over and above that, the soundproofing is going to help for recordings and things like that. So when I start recording music and stuff like that, that's going to happen. No one is going to know. The only people who are going to know who I am when I start recording are the people closest to us. So yes, you'll know who it is because I'll let you know. But most people are not going to know who it is because I'm changing my name. No, I'm not going to speak on the YouTube videos, or if I do, it's going to be I'm going to use a voice changer.
I'm not going to tell anyone. Just 15 of the closest
you're not going to
friends.
know the name. You're not going to know the name of the artist. So there are hundreds of artists coming out on Spotify every day.
True.
You won't know which one is me.
That's fair.
So
I attempt to. I think it's probably the best way to put it. I think so. Me and the wife kind of play stuff, kind of between ourselves, and I recently bought her a game that because we don't always we're chaotically busy lives, so we don't always have time to sit down and just play something, or we would need to put time aside to do that, and we don't always do that. So we used to do it a lot when we were going holiday and stuff. You'd go away to a secluded cabin in the woods type thing, and then we'd do a little bit of that there. But I think I recently bought a game for her that's like one of these ones where you challenge each other and then you play it in real life. So when you're doing stuff, you've got a little challenge card, and you have to get your other half to do X, Y, Z, and or say a phrase or say a saying, and then you can tick that off as being done. So it was just something that was kind of an attempt to do while still playing games that are in a physical sense. It's you can use it in real life as opposed to having to put a bigger amount of time aside for it. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it works. We haven't had a chance to play that yet either, but I'm sure we'll give that a go. But yeah, I think I used to have a big bundle of uni friends, and we all came. They all came around to my house, and we played Monopoly one year, kind of around Christmas time, and it ended in a board flip, which I've never. I know that people talk about that happening, but I was like, oh, that doesn't really happen. And it ended in a board flip from somebody else in the group. So yeah, it's they've never lived it. They've never lived it down to this day. But yeah, in fact, I'll probably send the podcast to them just so that they can hear me talking about them. But yeah, it was it was unreal. It was very entertaining. But that kind of that kind of game, it's the same kind of it's the same. I feel like it's the same as the Pico Parks or the Among Us kind of things. It's it is. Somebody in the group is going to really dislike what's happening to them at this point, and it kind of puts you against your friends, which I suppose you always figure out who your best friends are when that happens. But yeah, it's well.
Yeah. No, it's how it goes. I mean, we have pretty hectic board games that we play. Right now, playing board games is a bit difficult because we had to get rid of our dining room table because there's just no space in our house at the moment. I mean, when you're squeezing around to get into the lounge so that you can sit down and watch TV, you kind of know.
Yeah.
So the table was just too big, so we're like, no, okay, we're gonna have to adjust, and we're not gonna play board games like that. We've got a little coffee table that we'll probably set something up on, but I don't know how well we're going to play the games that we do because we've got Dune.
Oh wow! Okay.
That game is going to be a very big board game.
Yeah.
It takes what did we read 8 to 12 hours to play it or something.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's
that's the kind of thing that I've never really done a D&D or anything like that, and it's not been ever something that really I've been I've thought about doing and thought, oh, I'd quite like to do that. But when I first started watching Teeny, and this was a long time ago before we actually kind of knew each other, but we just started to get to know each other, and she was doing a D&D lobby on a specific night with a group of people, and I found it quite entertaining, but it's still never really been something that attracted me. And I think the kind of shorter games of, like a couple of hours to play it with friends while you're playing, like Cards Against Humanity is a perfect example, like something you bust out at the end of a party or whatever and just cause chaos, that kind of thing is more my jam. But I think it's I just think it's wonderful. I think that you can play something like that dedicated for like 8 to 12 hours, something like that. That blows my mind. But
they're very interesting games. I mean, we played a game that was excessively long. I still love it. It's called Twilight Imperium. Still one of my favorite games, and that game is 12 hours minimum.
It took us the whole day. Like we had to go to Ziff's brother and sister-in-law's house at what was it, 7 o'clock in the morning or something?
Yeah, it was
like
really
that?
early in the morning.
Really early in the morning, and then we left there at about, I'd say, 10, 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
It took ages to, and we didn't even finish it.
Wow.
Oh, we did.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I forgot that we did.
We did finish. It was a hectic game though. Jeez, like hectic, but awesome. It's a very fun game when you get into it. It's basically like space trading and battles and stuff.
Building alliances and, well, you can form an alliance. You don't have to, but mainly just like building up your resources and being the be all and end all in space.
The Federation.
So
being the Federation.
It's like X. Yeah, it's like playing X on a board game. That's also one of my favorites. People.
I wouldn't have said that originally. I would never have said, nah, I'm not a tricky. But we kind of similar to what I was talking before. Both me and my wife, when we used to go away to, the kind of cabin in the woods thing. One of the things that we did is we watched almost the entire series where Janeway is the captain. And
Voyager.
Voyager. I can never remember which one's which. That's why I'm so bad at it. But I absolutely loved it. I just thought it was fantastic. And then, it's obviously because it's kind of like something similar. I think you talked about this with other people before. But like when something is the first introduction to a bigger series, it's often the one that you love the most. And like like the characters in that are just wild. Like I see Tuvok anywhere else, and I'm like, that's Tuvok. It's not the character. it's not the actor. That is Tuvok. And it's the same kind of thing. It's I love a whole bunch of that, and it's one thing I need to go back and do. Like I need to start from the beginning with all the rest of them and kind of get through them as well. Just time.
Kez has got a problem. She doesn't like the original series. She thinks it's very silly.
I keep laughing. I can't watch it because I know the time when they made it, and I know, like, we watched the behind the scenes thing where they were making some of the episodes and stuff. So I know that someone sat with a microphone going shh, shh, to make the sound of the doors and things like that, and it's just too funny. I can't take it seriously.
I think you kind of have to be like immersed in it, don't you? You kind of have to like lose you have to be able to find a way to lose the connection that this is a TV show. You have to like get involved in the story, but that's I totally get that. There's a few films and a few things that I've watched and I'm just like, I can't get past the fact that what you just did technically to try and get that shot, and there's a few things I'm not very keen on to watch again, but it's fun.
Mine was The Next Generation. That was where I started. I'm really old, so The Next Generation was my starting point. My dad actually got me involved in Star Trek a long time ago. He actually recorded tapes, like videotapes of The Next Generation, and that's how I actually got into watching it. You know what was really funny? Betamax and VHS is very similar to what Blu-ray and HD TV was, or HD DVD was. VHS was just the better quality, or was the cheaper and better alternative to Betamax. Betamax was very expensive. I mean, those are very expensive machines to actually buy. So people were like, well, I can't afford it. I'll just get a VHS. And that's how VHS got big. Unfortunately, it was the other way around with Blu-ray, because Sony got clever and said, look, we'll put Blu-ray on our consoles. That way you can watch movies through Blu-ray, and HD DVD never took off because Sony kind of screwed them up.
The clever marketing changes everything, doesn't it? Yeah.
It is. It's very clever marketing. Because think about it this way, you know, they gave you the option to turn a PlayStation into a home entertainment system. So it's not just for playing games. You can watch Blu-rays on it. You can play games on it. You can pretty much do whatever you want to. You can listen to music on
That's
it.
effectively what my PS4 is now. Yeah, that's effectively what my PS4 is now. So like we had what we used to have is we used to have the Series X. The Xbox One used to be in the living room, and then like the PS4 was there too, but it was never really used. But then obviously when I started streaming, I moved the Xbox through so that I could run the Xbox through here. And now our PlayStation 4 is pretty much, because we got rid of like Sky TV and stuff like that because it was costing us an absolute fortune, and we weren't really using it that much. So now we pretty much, we have Netflix, we have, you know, all the streaming services, but all of them plus Twitch plus YouTube, and that's basically what our PS4 is. So pretty much everything we watch now is on one of those platforms. It's great.
Yeah, no, for us it's just Prime. I don't really need much else because we don't really watch that much television anyway. So we think that Prime is probably the best thing. My brother, we use my brother's Netflix because he's got one of those big accounts. So just, if we want to watch Star Trek and stuff like that, we'll just jump onto my brother's account and watch it from. Yeah,
Queso, my moderator, uses my Netflix, so yeah, I know all about that. I get a random sign in at like 1 a.m. I'm like, who's signing into my? Oh, okay, that's who's signing into my Netflix. Okay,
So yeah, for us it's the same thing. We use my brother's. He created an account for us, which we use on my PlayStation 4.
He's got one of those ones where there's like 3 different accounts. So there's one for them, there's one for us, and then there's one for Ziv Smart.
Yeah, we did the same thing. Yeah, we've got different accounts on ours. But...
It's really awesome to have that because you know it's a good family sharing thing, so that the family can actually all watch whenever they want to, things like that, which is quite cool. But we got the Prime thing as well because mainly for deliveries because it's a hell of a lot easier to have deliveries when they're free.
I'm like one side of my brain is like, you know, don't give in to big people, and my other side of my brain is
me
like,
too.
My other side of my brain is like, but I can get it tomorrow. You know, like
the thing is, we do 2 things. So birthday presents this year, birthday presents for Kez this year, I got on Etsy because those are all small. But Etsy basically supports all small businesses. So I was like, okay, well, let me go onto Etsy and I'll get her birthday present from there. Well, one of them. The other one we actually had to go to. We went to Silverburn and got her 2 Build-A-Bear Nightmare Before Christmas Build-A-Bears.
Oh wow, nice.
One was Mr. Oogie Boogie, and the other one was Jack's.
Excellent.
And the other one's Jack Skellington that has my voice,
so
like literally, happy birthday to her from it's got my voice saying happy birthday.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
I didn't even know that was possible. That shows you. Maybe I should start looking at Build-A-Bear. My God,
Kez actually found it. I don't know how she found it, but she found it.
No, I just remember from years ago, when I got my very first Build-A-Bear, that you could put a voice in it and you could record things and stuff. And then when obviously we went through, I was hoping that they still have it in there. So
that's pretty cool.
That's
pretty cool.
She was. So the reason, one of the reasons why we actually did that as well is because half of her gift didn't arrive until way after her, like 2 days after her birthday. So it arrived the Monday, like her birthday was on the Saturday.
Yeah, my wife's a February, like very start of February born, and it's nightmare for me because I'm like, right, got these for Christmas, excellent. Oh shit, birthday as well. Okay,
birthday.
Right, yeah, birthday as well.
That's me, dude. That's me.
Yeah, every time, every
me
time.
All the way. It's like Christmas, like okay, Christmas. Yeah, I'm like yes, okay, I got all the Christmas presents. I'm like shit.
Yeah, I'm really lucky. I'm a July, so like I'm smack bang in the middle. So it's like I don't understand people who wait longer than 6 months for a big celebration. You know what I mean? Like it's like, you know, I've got like in July, and then I'm like back to December again. Like this is great, you know. Like so, yeah, it's.
That's me as well. I'm in June.
Yeah.
So it's like it's December to June birthday. So it's December is Christmas.
Always
June
got something to look forward to. That's what it's all about.
Every 6 months you're getting presents.
Exactly.
It's all cool.
It's the way to do it. I tell you, it's the way to do it.
But yeah, so I think when it came to the birthday, she was really upset because only half of her present came. It was supposed to be. I got her a charm bracelet, and the charm bracelet has basically, it's I've got to get the rest of the charms, but there's a charm for each year that we've been together.
Oh, nice.
So not for like just marriage, but dating as well. So
Yeah.
at the moment, it's got
That's
just
lovely.
the years that we've been married, but it's going to go on to the years that we dated. Yeah, you can't really see there, but a charm for each year that we've been together. That's what I envisioned when I got that charm bracelet. And I'm just going to get you another charm bracelet. But the bracelet didn't arrive, and 3 of the other charms didn't arrive either.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, oh, no, this is not going to work. And Kez was like, yeah, no, I've always wanted... you know what I really want? I want to build a bear. So I'm like, okay, let's go to Silverberg.
Perfect. Let's go do a
We were on the way
Build-A-Bear.
back from Air. Yeah, because we were on the way back from Air anyway. So I was like, oh, well, we're just going to Silverberg. We'll just go to Silverberg. It's fine.
Let's
So I said,
redirect.
check
yeah.
what time...
We,
Yeah,
we-
what time does Build-A-Bear
we
close?
used to
And then
ha-
we went.
we used to have that problem occasionally, you know, like when things didn't arrive in time and stuff like that in my family. And this is where we have a phrase in my family that came from my nana, and my nana once gave one of my cousins a present and said, here's your present, you wouldn't like it. Right, and that was just like, you won't like this present. But what we then did is, if things didn't arrive, we would get like a tiny wee small gift and then hand them over to the person and be like, here's your present, you wouldn't like it. And that was just a thing, like a phrase that became like in our family. So like whenever you were saying something didn't arrive, I was like, oh, you need to get like a really small thing and just hand it over and say, here's your present, you wouldn't like it. And that's like a thing that's ingrained in my head. And yeah, but it's I mean, my family's a bit weird anyway, so it's not really a surprise, you know. I mean, they're
That's cool though. That's it's a nice way of doing it.
yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
yeah. Well, mine is through Christmas time. I've got to have my mom's trifle, and unfortunately, well, my mom's trifle is like alcohol phobe.
That makes
So
a lot
she's
of
got,
sense.
like,
Yeah.
It's
The
got,
easiest
like,
way
so
to get
much
through
sherry.
family dinner.
Oh.
Lots of alcohol in the trifle.
And then
Yeah.
she asked Zip's cousin to make it, and she uses.
Yeah. she got medium sherry, right? And you're only supposed to use a small amount of medium sherry. Okay, it's supposed to give you that when you eat it.
Yep.
You're not supposed to get drunk when you eat trifle.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
used so much sherry, dude. It was like we were literally just eating sherry. And wow,
Yeah.
did we get drunk that day. Whew.
Why have we got solid cherry on the menu?
Yeah, something like that. It was bad. It was, I mean, not bad as in like, bad. I actually kind of enjoyed it,
Yeah.
but so strong. Yeah.
The thing that you
Even
look
mixing
back
it with
on
the
and
custard
go,
didn't help.
that was a mistake, but whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, I did that with one of my birthdays. I wanted to have like this, like I don't know if you know the Holly festivals or the color festivals where they have like
Yeah.
all those different
Yeah.
cool color things. I wanted that for one of my birthdays, and I made Jello shots, but I used an entire cup
Oh,
of,
wow.
of vodka in it, and the Jello shots were like that big, and it was like eating alcohol.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, I'm never doing that again. It was good.
So like
Hang in
myself
the
and my
toilet
wife
bowl.
don't drink, but it's but there's like vodka in the house because she makes cakes a lot of the time, and like vodka
Yeah.
is such like a common element that you can stick things together using vodka, and you can, and it's the
Yeah.
weirdest thing because like people come in and you're like, but you don't drink. Why is there like a half-liter bottle of vodka up there? And you're like, oh, no big deal. It's just like making cakes, and they're like, what kind of cakes? I'm like, not that kind of cake. It's just for making cakes. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, it is kind of funny. I would laugh at that, to be honest. I did. Anyway, so yeah, are there any games that you're looking forward to actually coming out? Because I haven't seen very many releases that are coming. I know that Horizon Zero Dawn, the new one's coming out, but that's a PS5 exclusive. So.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really tough because there's a lot of things that I haven't played that I would like to play that like then have like series, like have other ones coming out and stuff. So I think Tam mentioned Spider-Man in his discussion. I've never played the Spider-Man game on PS, and that's something I think I'll probably do on one of my nights on stream. Will become just a Spider-Man until we go all the way through that. The only problem with that is, as I was discussing earlier about the PlayStation, now the PlayStation's gonna have to come through here, and the old Xbox is gonna have to go back through a whole palaver. But anyway, But yeah, I'll play that at some point. I'm just not that keen on the PlayStation controller. That's the main reason why I'm an Xbox guy. Is the comfort that I get from the controller on the Xbox is just so much better. But yeah, I mean, there's ways and means around that. There's adapters now and everything you can get. So, but yeah, I think probably some of the PlayStation stuff would be really, really good. Sorry, some of the Spider-Man stuff would be really good. I don't know if there's particularly something I'm looking forward to. I know that Hitman VR just came out. So Hitman have done Hitman's like a massive thing on my channel because I made so many mistakes playing that game. It was unbelievable because I've never played it before. But it was like one of those games where I was like, I know it's going to be an absolute, like, it's just going to be hilarious me trying to play this game when I have no idea how to play it. And that was what I just went in with it, and it ended up exactly like that. It was just awful but hilarious. But I know that I think a Hitman VR just came out yesterday, I think it was. And a friend of mine,
I don't know,
a friend of mine has VR headset and all the rest of it. I don't have one yet, but he has one, and he was straight into it, and he's like, "You're gonna love this." So I think I'll probably get to play that sometime using his VR headset, I think. But yeah, I'm looking forward to battering some people in real life. Sorry, in not real life. Wait, hang on. In virtual reality.
Freudian
that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah. It was a major Freudian slip there.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I was just thinking of Tam again. That's the problem. I just want to smack the wee boy. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I've got PSVR, so we're probably going to jump on.
Right.
So I'm going to see if I can get that set up on the PS4 because I've got a key for it. They actually gave me a free upgrade key for the PS4.
Nice.
So if I type it into the PSN, I get the download for VR on PS4, and it's quite cool. So I think I'm going to actually jam that and see how it goes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely.
I'm a wee bit excited. What's the what's the hospital game that has 2 Point Hospital? I don't know if you've ever played 2 Point Hospital. It's kind of like it's a successor to that. Basically, some of the developers that did the original Theme Hospital went off, made a company, and did 2 Point Hospital. And then it was so successful that they're now going to bring out 2 Point Campus. And it's like a university version of that. So it's rather than being like a hospital you're creating a university and stuff. So I'm kind of looking forward to that one. That looks like it's going to be good. I don't know when that's out though, but it looks like it's going to be awesome. I just love those style of games. I don't think I'm not sure. I might try it at some point. I'm not convinced that they're really streamable games, but anything's streamable if you're entertaining, I suppose. But it's kind of that thing, well, I'm not entertaining, I need the game to help me. So it's trying to figure that out. But yeah, just trying to think out if there's anything else really at the top of my head. What I can think of, I think that's part of the problem with Gran Turismo. Yeah, it's funny actually. I played GT Sport was the first ever game I played because I have a steering wheel and pedals and a seat set up.
Nice.
I'm super geek for that. And that's how I played Forza for a while as well. And it was brilliant. And I started off playing GT Sport, and that was the first game I got with the new wheel and stuff. And that was really, really good, really enjoyable. But it's not ever I've never had the want to complete that game, if that makes sense. I'm delighted to pick it up. Project Cars is kind of the same. So Project Cars has Project Cars 2 has not kill. So not like the motor racing circuit in Fife in Scotland. So it has not kill in it. So that was the only reason I bought that game, was because it had not kill and I was able to run not kill. And I would take like Le Mans prototype cars, things that do 200 mile an hour and this far off the floor, and I'd run them around not kill, something that you could never run around, so that kind of unrealistic
I was
thing
about to say,
was very
you can't
fun.
go around not kill and it's low car like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I just thought it's kind of like bringing F1 to your local circuit. It's never going to happen, but it's something that's fun virtually. So yeah, we did a bit of that. I did a bit of that in Project Cars, and then obviously played a little bit of other stuff in GT Sport. So I think probably if the new Gran Turismo is as beautiful as people say it's going to be, then definitely it'll be something I'll look into. But not something I've currently got as planned. But then I also don't have a PS5 yet, so I feel like if you're going to run something like that, you kind of really need to run it with the latest hardware probably.
Look, you can run it on PS4. They are making it backward compatible, so you can play it on PS4 as well.
I think the only problem with it is that like it'll be the
PS5,
same as so like Xbox Series X and Xbox One version of Forza Horizon 5. There's a 21 or 22 second difference in loading time.
Yeah.
So like if you fast travel to something and load, it takes like an extra 20 seconds. Now I do on Forza Horizon 5, I do speedrun stuff just for the fun. It's not actually good speedrun content. It's just me mucking about. But the thing is that like if I had to add an extra 20 seconds on every time I fast traveled because I was using Xbox One rather than Series X, it would just be a nightmare. So it makes it a
bit difficult.
Yeah, it makes it a bit of a challenge.
I agree. I mean, with us, it's why we got the PS5 version anyway. And obviously, me being a massive Gran Turismo fan, I've had Gran Turismo from Gran Turismo 1 on the PS1. It's the very first Gran Turismo I've ever owned.
Yeah.
And I've had Gran Turismo. I've had every single copy or every single Gran Turismo version there has been. I've played and had every single version. So
I don't know how many times you've tried to meddle on the brake at the right time stuff. That's in every game, isn't it? So
it's easy. That's
no, it is easy, but it's just like it's the same thing in every game. It's
stop.
Hilarious, but yeah.
I think they may have changed that up on the new one. I really do hope they have, because there's a couple of things that I'd like Gran Turismo 7 to have, but I don't think they'll do it. Like, for example, I'd like to actually do pace races to see who gets into pole position during a race. Because sometimes I actually just want to race against other racers that are as good as me, but I want to be able to, prove my time. So do a time trial before the race, see who gets pole position, and start the race. That's what I like. That was what the Gran Turismo 1 and 2 had. So for me, that's what I wanted for Gran Turismo 7. But we did buy the super, like the steel box and all that stuff. Because I'm a huge fan.
That's a good point. Like, how many games have you actually bought like a serious edition of? Like I think I did it for like Modern Warfare 2. I got the night vision goggles for Modern Warfare. Yeah. And then me and my friends went up Arthur's Seat in Edinburgh in the pitch dark and walked about. And it was hilarious because we were wandering about and it was completely pitch dark and we couldn't see without them on. And we were facing each other, and a runner ran between us and scared the absolute shit out of the two of us. So yeah, that was a thing that happened. But yeah, like I think I've maybe got two. Well, I got the Marvel Avengers one. Most recent one. I got the big serious edition of that. I got like a Hulk bobblehead and a whole bunch of other stuff, like a whole bunch of the steelbook and all the rest of it. And then that game is so frustrating. Like it's so like I've just gone back to playing it a little bit like off stream by myself. But it's so annoying. Like it's just.
Is it broken or?
Yeah, I mean, I went back. So basically, I was like, I played it a lot when it started off, and it was just bug heavy, and like a lot of new games are. That's fine, but like there were certain things I could accept. But there was things like you would open a case that specifically had items in it at the end of a level, and it wouldn't give you any items, and it's like, just get that bit right, like if there's some glitches and stuff during the fight and stuff, I'm like, well, that happens. As long as I get the loot at the end of it, that's fine. But it was like not able to give you the loot at the end of it, and that was super frustrating. So I stopped for a very long time, and I stopped playing. And then more recently, I went back into it, and I went to play for like just kind of 20 minutes. I'll pick something up type thing, and I went to play it, and I really, really enjoyed it. And it still has glitches, so it's like it wasn't in loot stuff, it was in other stuff, but like this is like a year and probably longer, probably more like 18 months or something down the line since the game released. I don't know, maybe only a year, but if there's still issues with it that I'm finding when I play as a casual player, then I can't imagine what it would have been like if I was trying to stream that on a constant basis, and like this is my main game to play, it would have just blown my head off with frustration. But,
That's funny how we've been turned into people, like gamers have been turned into people who just accept bugs in games. We never used to. Remember back in the day when you used to buy a game, and the internet was only just like starting to become something. You'd buy the game, be in those big boxes, like those huge freaking boxes for computers. you'd buy a game and the game would be tested so well that the game would actually be working when you play it.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to those days?
I don't know.
You buy a game now, like release is broken, and then they'll have a day one patch. So we're just like, we accept it. Okay, yeah, we've accepted that there's always going to be a day one patch for games. Now we accept that the games are going to be buggy even after the day one patch. It's like, when did we turn into these people? Why aren't we fighting these guys and saying,
I don't know if you've,
give us a fixed game?
I know. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but there's Forza Horizon 5 is a stunning game, absolutely beautiful, and they've done a very good job. They've had a few bugs, and to be honest with you, I know that a lot of people have got frustrated with it, and I totally understand it. But they have a Forza Horizon 5 known issues page, right? And I am not kidding you. I can pull this up. Like, it has thousands of items on it. Like, you I've got the scroll wheel and I'm going down and down and down and down, and I'm like, I just want to find out if this is a known bug or not that I'm having here, and I had to find it in the page because there were so many. I couldn't find it by just looking. It's wild.
Yeah, it's crazy how we've actually just come to accept the fact that companies are going to release broken games and we're going to pay money for that. It's like,
it's come to a point where, like, if I want to really enjoy a game, am I better waiting like 2 or 3 months until it's more solid experience so that I can enjoy it without all the crap at the start? Like, which should never be the case. Like, I'm desperate to play games. I'm like, I want to play this game. It's coming out soon. I'm excited for it. I'm going to play it now. On like Marvel's Avengers, I played for like 8.5 hours or 9 hours straight on release day on stream, just because I was like, I've been waiting for this for like 2 years, and exactly. Experienced all sorts of funny things, but it was still, it was a fairly good experience, but there was still all sorts of stuff that just so frustrating. But
exactly, no, I 100% agree with you. I mean, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be the person to buy the game day one unless I'm actually like with Gran Turismo. I'm a huge fan. Otherwise, I'm one of those people that now I wait. I wait like 3 or 4 months for the game to actually be fixed before I buy it, because I'm not wasting money on a game. Yeah, we did. Never buying another game like that. I said, just Gran Turismo because I wanted Steelbook and I couldn't find it anywhere, so I had to get it. So I was like, no, I'm buying it. That's it.
I understand that. I think but I think that's the point that I've got to, is I'm limiting myself to like, okay, I absolutely love this game. I'll buy it on release day and put up with the rubbish, or I quite like this series, so I'll wait a couple of months and then I'll jump into it. It's so frustrating. I think the interesting thing though for me is that, like, I feel like maybe the whole like Steam kind of workshop, games that are pre-release, I feel like a lot of that kind of led into bigger games being allowed to do that, or maybe not being allowed to do that, but being able to do that without so many problems. Like, all somebody has to say is, what is it? I can't really remember what Steam calls it, but it's pre-release.
Access, isn't it?
Well, it's early access. Yeah, there you go. So so they're sorry, this game's in early access, so be aware there's going to be bugs. I have no problem with like somebody saying that, but I feel like maybe that led us as consumers to be like, oh well, if it's in early access, it's okay to be an absolute mess. And then that's kind of led to like this whole big thing of like, this is an enormous game, but hey, let's put it out now because we've said it needs to go out now, rather than let's test it to a point where we don't have this problem. Yeah, well,
I mean, look at 7 Days to Die. That's been in early access for years now.
For forever, yeah. DayZ was in early access for about 6-7 years or something, wasn't it? I think I can't remember.
Yeah, something like that. It's ridiculous that, and it's still in early access. The games are still in early access, and it's like, look, I understand that you're building the game up and you're building the game, but just release the game as a game now, and then work on it afterwards now, because the game is as fixed as it's ever going to be. It's just like people are getting too used to just going, okay, well, it's early access, it's fine, I don't mind. Look, I like 7 Days to Die. It's a good game, but good God, just release the game already.
I've always thought, wouldn't it be funny if you did this in like another media other than games? Imagine you did it with a film, and like there was still a few extras in the background, and like, oh yeah, sorry, we're in early access release. We haven't cut it down yet properly. Oh yeah, no, this green screen, this is gonna have a like a big dinosaur on it. Don't worry, it's just we haven't done that yet. You know, like I would love that.
Early access.
Yeah,
movie. You're buying the movie now, but later on the movie will be fixed completely. It's like, it'll be
completely fixed later on, but for now, all you guys get to see is this green screen. I'm sorry, we haven't fixed that part of the game yet. Yeah, like I would love that. That'd be so fun.
Imagine the outrage if that happened in movies, dude. There would be such outrage. It's like a novelist releases a book and only like half the pages are there.
Yeah.
It's like I haven't finished this part yet.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah, it's a work in progress. It's like, okay, my mother, like she's a novelist herself, so she writes books. Or she's been writing books at the moment. The one book that she's been writing, she let me read some of it. She's like, I need you to read these parts here and see what you think of it. And I was confused as hell because like the book is all over the place. And I understand that that's how the novelists work. You know, you don't write a book, you know, beginning to end. You write a book according to where you feel you need to actually add in and change things. So she's finished the book now, but back then I was like, okay, I like the story, Mom, but holy crap, I don't understand what's going on.
I have no idea where this is going.
It'll be finished. Yeah. And she said it'll be finished soon, and then once it's done, you'll be able to read it from beginning to end. I'm finally reading the book as it's supposed to be, which is it's actually it's an epic book. And as soon as she releases it, I'm gonna buy a proper copy, because it's my mom and I.
Of course.
I support my mother.
Of course.
But also, she's a fantasy writer, so I love my fantasy novels.
I'll mention that to Rallick, because Rallick's a huge fantasy fan. Excuse me.
Definitely.
Timing. Yeah, no, he's an enormous fantasy fan. So yeah, Rallick would love. I'll have to mention that. But yeah, you're one of the very few people in the world who's ever had to read a book in early access. Then congratulations. Yeah.
Yeah, I read a book in early access.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah. You have to tell your mum that. That'd be good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually tell her that now when I get off the phone. when we get the stream now or the podcast, I'm gonna tell her you're the first I'm the first person in the world to actually read a book in early access.
Perfect.
But yes, people wouldn't want to. You know, no. It's about that time though. Apparently, Kez is giving me the signal.
The hurry up.
About
signal.
that time
I know.
signal. Yeah, hurry up and end this crap, dude. I want to go.
It's okay, I don't
know. Fudge knows we're joking, Angel. I wouldn't say things like that if I wasn't joking. Fudge, before we go though, before we actually end all of this, we need to ask you, where can our followers find you?
You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/EdinburghFudge. Thank you very much. You can find me on YouTube, where I finally have an actual Edinburgh Fudge account, so that's cool. I don't have like the random letters and stuff after my name. I have an actual one now. And embarrassingly, I'm on TikTok, but I've only got a couple of videos on, so let's not talk about that. And Instagram, yeah. So I do a lot more kind of just pictures of the game and stuff through Instagram. I try and take a screenshot for every for every like time I go live. I have a screenshot of the game previously to use. So yeah. I love photography as a hobby outside, so like doing stuff in game is always a bit fun. So yeah, that's pretty much where you can find
Cool. Awesome. Right. Well, we're gonna post all of that up in the down there.
Yeah.
You'll find all the links to his channels and whatnot. And guys, give him a follow. They're honestly, the guys we're talking to now from this group are hilarious. If you watch any of their videos, you'll actually see how funny these guys are. They're great. Each one of them has their own personality as well, which gives the whenever they play together, just makes the game more fun to watch. So definitely give them a follow on Twitch, and obviously on YouTube, whoever is on YouTube and whatnot. But yeah, guys, Kez, anything you want to say? Madam Quietness in the corner never really speaks. You see what I deal with, guys. You see what I deal with. Anyway, guys, hit that subscribe button down below if you really liked us and really want to see more of our content. Hit that like button to, I suppose try and help the algorithm. If you hit the dislike button, nothing's gonna happen. You're just gonna have dislike. But tell us why you disliked it, because then we can actually fix it, and we'll see what we can do to fix it. And we like criticism, because we are that kind of people. We actually do take it under consideration. So please do that for us. And guys, as always, remember,
Keep it.
bye.